So headline number 3, once again, according to CNBC, a 3-timer this week,
Mm-hmm.
David Simon, the chief executive officer of the biggest shopping mall owner in the country, is creating his own shopping holiday. The event is called the National Outlet Shopping Day, Chris.
Just rolls off the tongue, Ann.
By Simon Property Group, and it is meant for people seeking out deep discounts, David Simon said. Think Amazon Prime Day, but for retail outlet centers.
Oh, I am.
He's really going to give himself, he's going to hold himself at the same level as Amazon. The first iteration runs this weekend at the real estate owner's 90 premium outlet and Mills branded outlet properties in the U.S. Truett, we're going to go to you first on this one. Are you getting packed up? You're going to get the family over to the outlet center this week for the biggest national retail holiday of the year?
So believe it or not, I was actually in an outlet mall during this event. So had a little bit of an on the ground perspective. And I would, kind of to summarize, I think it's A for effort. I think the results are, not results to be determined in terms of what this actually does. Look, right now, I mean, everything is about value for the customer. So if you look at marketing and look what everyone is saying, it's deals, it's lowest price, it's a lot of pivot into value given what customers are facing. The outlet mall should benefit from that. And I think admittedly, there was about 1/3 of the retailers that participated, as David would have wanted on this. The anecdote is the malls were busy. I think it was about kind of what it normally is on a weekend. And the question I have is, the malls are creating this event, but a lot of the retailers, because many of these are these properties are anchored actually by it's outlet and off price.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was just going through the deals, none of the off price played, and so really the deals were around some of the outlet, and then I would say the discretionary stuff, right? Like the food players and the malls were playing those types of things. So I think for it to be fully impactful, you really need everyone to jump in, right? Versus just free riding from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And until a TJ Maxx or Burlington or a Ross is going to say, okay, we'll actually do something different from our promotional strategy, which to my knowledge, they haven't ever done.
Right.
Then I just don't see this reaching its full effect.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. Yeah, no, Ann and I were talking about this before the show. I kind of feel the same way you do. And I'll take it a little bit further too. I actually think it's kind of unimaginative, and I would actually argue that Simon of all the mall operators has kind of read that way for me over the last couple of years. Like, some of the things they're doing with like buying up old brands and thinking that's going to help them and all that kind of stuff, which doesn't make sense to me. And this is just more of the same. It's like a copycat strategy.
It makes it easier to do these kinds of promotions if you own all the brands in the outlet center, Chris.
I guess. Yeah, right. But I don't know that that's an anchor or an albatross I want to put around my neck. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and even the way I made fun of it, but the way you read the tagline, it's like, it doesn't roll off the tongue. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything to anyone nationally. Truett's point is dead right too. If you don't get the retailers to play into it, what good is it? And you can't fund that yourself as the mall to be like, here's 20% off every operator in our mall, every retailer in our malls. It's just too damn expensive. So like, this just doesn't have a lot of teeth to me. It lacks imagination, but I don't know. Maybe we've convinced you at this point, because you were kind of holding court against me earlier. I'm curious what you think.
I still think I'm going to hold to Truett's earlier point, which is A for effort. I think you have to start somewhere, and they are trying to create a unified holiday or experience. Now, do they have they executed it correctly the first time? No, but very few people do. And so while I think that they were very ambitious in the title of this and comparing themselves to the next Prime Day, especially when you're only doing the outlet centers. Like, this is not full mall. This is just outlet centers, which is key to call out. And so I think that it's a test that they're starting in their smaller centers, only 90, and then we may start to see, fingers crossed, that they learned a lot of things from this, all to the points that you and Truett bring up. And then how do they really use their leverage as the biggest mall owner in the country to start doing more coordinated efforts that hopefully will snowball into other coordinated efforts where the mall is acting as the landlord, this landlord, this marketplace type of thinking versus
I guess if I'm glass half full and not glass half empty coming off a 9-hour flight from Amsterdam yesterday, I think I can see what you're saying, and like, yeah, maybe it's just a good first step for them to try to brand themselves nationally. Like maybe it points some holes in that strategy, like we're talking about, and maybe they improve over time. But Chad, you're the marketer here.
Yeah, and you're the tiebreaker as far as everybody's concerned on this. So where are you going to fall? No pressure.
No pressure. Well, I think David Simon should get together with Hallmark because they're really good at creating holidays sort of out of thin air, right? So, I mean, I agree with a lot of your points. I mean, so, I guess just fundamentally in terms of like where value-based retail sits in this kind of environment. So actually, friend of the show and A&M CRG partner, Dave Ritter, recently commented on a piece in Retail Brew among the kind of retail winners and losers amid rising inflation. And so, Dave's overall point in that was that these value-oriented players show more resilience during high inflationary periods because they're really more set up in ways that preserve their business models, right? And so I'm not surprised in a way, as True was explaining, that a lot of these folks didn't really kind of latch on to deeper, discounts and all. Like it's already part of the way that they operate. They're about value. It's resonating today. It makes sense. You inherently already kind of have that tailwind. As far as what Simon's creating here, right? Like it's an awareness building marketing campaign like that. That's all it is, right? He's saying we're here. We presumably have full shelves, right? Maybe the stuff the retailers are trying to unload.
Right. That's a great point.
We understand times are tough. We're here to give you a great product, a great value. Like remember the outlet. So, I don't see it as a one-day outlet extravaganza being the next Prime Day or Singles Day or Black Friday, right? Like it's a campaign to reacquaint the pinched consumer with a new or renewed shopping option. And that's okay and good for trying.